Ladies and gentlemen, Jay Haft here, undisclosed location. Now, now it's time for, the punks, the Dinks and the Criminals to be exposed at the Wisconsin DNR. Okay, now it's going to be 4 or 5 episodes. I just posted one on the sites about the mayor when he came. He was definitely on the radio trying to do everything he could to destroy me, and this is a perfect example of his onslaught against me, even though he was guilty of numerous crimes. Okay, so legal theories or grounds of liability. Negligence. Negligence is the common law. All individuals, including public employees, have a duty to other members of society to act reasonably in a manner not to cause damage to other members of society. Actional negligence results from the creation of an unreasonable risk of injuries to others, and determining whether the risk is reasonable. Not only the seriousness of the harm that may be caused is relevant, but also the likelihood that harm may be caused. The standard of conduct is a reasonable man, the circumstance. Negligence is the primary legal basis for public liability of improper design, flood control. And then inverse condemnation, I kind of touched on this. It's a taking without compensation. That's when you basically destroy someone, you take their business. Okay, so this is Madison Aging Dams, a DNR. Okay, and it says the DNR is required by law to inspect large dams once every 10 years and smaller dams on a longer timetable. According to Rich Whitapole, Chief of DNR Dam Safety Floodplain, the DNR is inspecting dams at what is closer to a 17 cycle, even though it's 10 years the law, because they want to remove these dams. It's their agenda. So why would they be breaking the law in here? If the dam failed and people lost property, they'd be 100% responsible because of this actional negligence. Okay, it says the staff, they got all these people working there, $500 million budget, and there's not a lack of staff to do that. Okay, now this is Susan Joseph. She's the lady that was in charge of the DNR at the time. Okay, now she's sending this email. Now, in my opinion, okay, the DNR is a terrorist group, okay? And you got to listen to this closely. Okay, this is from Susan Joseph to Rob Davis, and he's the king crony for the water division. And it says, this is the same draft that Dan looked at last week, except of an 88.5. I believe that's like the water level. Okay. When you have premeditation, okay, they have the motive, which you'll see. In 2000, they wanted to remove the dam. And I got the dam report from 2002 when they finally did it. Okay. This is the same draft Dan looked at last week. And then the flood insurance study doesn't obviously give us the flood flow that would flood or damage the buildings downstream. So when you look at that and you say to yourself, why in hell's God would they want to know about the flood flow that would flood or damage the buildings? To destroy the people's property. Okay. And then they say in the next statement, another idea for the buildings. The municipal flood grant program could pay a portion of the acquisition and remove the structure in the floodplain. A FEMA grant may pay the remainder. Okay. It says another idea. So another idea is wanting to know how much the flood flow will flood the buildings. And then on the bottom it says, Dan, if you get a chance, how about picking up a copy of the deed and assessment info on each building over the river? We can do some follow-up, and maybe we can make the owners an offer they can't refuse, especially since they have illegal buildings. Okay, now, in my opinion, they're discriminating against these people here. There's these floodway structures, and there's floodplain structures all over the country. Are they going to go down to Milwaukee and threaten everybody that owns a building on the river downtown? No, they're not. They did it because, my opinion is the whole deal for the DNR is we want to remove this dam. And they have the motive, the premeditation. Okay. Now this is the DNR, this makes me so upset every time I go through this crap. Because I've been fighting for 17 years and I cannot find, an answer to all these crimes. And I just got off the phone with the DNR, and it's just like, yeah. Okay, so this is the Beaver Dam lake inspection, which they did. in 2002, and it says, I inspected the Beaver Dam on July 2nd, 2002. The Department of Natural Resources is required by state law to inspect every dams every 10 years. This is the second inspection under the program. The first program was inspection was 1987 due to staffing and workload. I'm not able to meet the schedule. Yeah, it's ridiculous. We know what they want. They want to remove these dams. But I've inspected the dam several times last years because of complaints and concerns. Well, she's been there inspecting it a couple times because I called her up and I said, hey, how come this dam hasn't been inspected by state law? You're breaking the law. Oh, this and that. The city wouldn't want to have to spend $250,000 to repair the dam. That's just the value of one home. What if a lot of people's lives worth? It's unbelievable. Attached is the report. My inspections, finding, and other pertinent information results the status of the dam. It is obvious the city is maintaining the dam. You see different in this inspection. The embankment areas are snowed and free of trees. Signs are in good shape, and fencing helps with the safety around the dam. Beaver Dams Lake Dam needs some repairs. She just said it was being maintained, and now it said it needs repairs. The most obvious repairs on the dam's concrete, some of the concrete is about 90 years old and covered with gunite and other main areas of the dam. The modification is needed. Dam to improve operation. Dam currently has stop logs and must be removed. Added by the city. The dam needs gates instead of stop logs to increase flow and make operations quick, easier, and less intensive. The city has emergency action plan. The activities will need to complete as scheduled. Okay, review and update if necessary. May 2023. Write a 10 millimeter, including an IOM, including monitoring, March 30th. But these are the most important ones. And investigate source of the penstock water in 2003. Remove gunite not bonded to the concrete, September 30th. These are the repairs that are supposed to be done as scheduled, okay? If you're not doing them, it's negligence. And if they knew they're supposed to do it, it becomes actional negligence. Okay, these are some more stuff here. Concrete core sampling. That's 2003 if you look over here too. All these are September 30th. And then research design the gates, evaluate design the concrete repairs, make concrete repairs, install gates. Okay, these are all before the flood. If this stuff would have been done before the flood, the dam could have been operated differently. And you'll see coming forward in these DNR emails. I mean, this is total actional negligence by them not doing the repairs that were done, and they were supposed to be scheduled to be done. And as a final note, there may be some funding to help repair or remove the Beaver Dam. There is a state dam repair removal grant program from this. The city intends to apply for funding. You're required to question writing financial assistance, and then it's up to $200,000. As you know, I've been asked to speak at the meeting at Beaver Dam Lake, and I'm sorry they couldn't get this letter report furnished. I'm faxing the letter. And it's Jim Congdon, and this is Susan Joseph, Jim Congdon, and Bruce Gall, the city engineer. Okay, so did they put, like I said, these are my pages, did they put the 16,000 people who live in this community at risk by not following the dam inspection and the repairs that were required? Absolutely, they put them at risk. And you'll see other words where I believe there's more terrorism. Okay, it says, this is the way the DNR operates. The law means nothing to them, okay? Sometimes they say the cover-up is worse than the crime. It says right here, this is from Rob Davis again, Christopher Olds. Just as FYI, I looked at the Beaver Dam gauge, and on the days when the flood flows originally showed 1,900 cubic feet per second. Okay, this is their words. Hope you had a good vacation. Thanks again for the help with the Beaver Dam model. And it says down on missed on top here, just been revised to the approximately 1,675 cubic feet per second. So what they did is they altered it, they fudged it, they created fraud to try to cover the cities in their ass. Okay, so this one here, it says Rob Davis again, Christopher Olds, standard, they call it standard dam operation. Okay. You tell me what you think. Okay. The date is July 7th. Okay, that's almost a month after the flood. Okay. And this is from the dam operator. He says on here, he says, sorry to bug you again. I'm sure you are very busy trying to recover from all the flooding. But if you could please tell me how the dam was operated during the flood, when all the boards were pulled, I would greatly appreciate it. The staff is working for updating the Dodge County floodplain maps to be able to information the new flood insurance study of this event. Okay, so you're going to see that they admitted they released too much water. Okay, but then they want anything that has standing water on is considered floodplain property. Okay, the shoe factory, which is the whole heart of this conspiracy, had water in the basement. It had flood from a regional flood. Okay, and then on the bottom, this is June 27th. This was up here. It says, I remember talking with you last week, and you said you had an operation procedure for the dam that whenever levels get to a certain point that all boards are pulled. I saw a lot of dams in the past few weeks, but it was you that told me this, right? See, he didn't know because this probably was the only dam that they had that procedure. If so, at what level did you pull all the boards? And that's June 27th. So they pulled all the boards at one time because they were worried about the dam being stressed and they couldn't put the boards in. It was non-operational. By being non-operational and they didn't do the repairs as scheduled, they put the 16,000 people at risk. Okay, this is from Rob Davis, of course, Meg Galloway. Another question. You were required to adopt the dam non-existence in the condition of the dam at the minimum and dam failure if the dam gets in bad condition, right? Had no intention of fixing it. Again, this profile most likely would change the removal of the structure culverts. Currently, the Whiteco building's out of the floodway, and that's another fraudulent statement, allowing for the fraud, the economic disaster flood fraud. Oh shit, Lord fraud, WIDA, whatever. Okay. Now this is interesting. This is about the Boss Dam breaks. Hi Rob, found the file. Attachment E says Boss Dam break, 100-year flood without the dam, and it's 7 pages long. Attachment F says Boss Dam break, 100-year flood without the dam is 75 to 100 pages long. So here they have plans for the dam to fail, but they don't have plans to fix it. Yeah. So, and then it says here, this is the one that is really interesting, because I think they fudged the date on here because it says June 27th, 2008, which is like 3.5 weeks after the flood. I remember talking to you last week that you said you had an operation procedure for the dam, that whenever levels get to a certain point, all the boards are pulled. I saw a lot of dams in the past few weeks, but I believe it was you that told me this, right? If so, at what level do we pull all the boards? Okay, so you had a non-operation dam, supposed to be fixed, scheduled. Wouldn't operate. Now you pull all the boards. You have a plan to pull all the boards before the flood. The way it appears, they fudged the date. I could see why. But anyway, the thing about this is see, what I did was, they didn't fix the dam, so I contacted the DNR. Okay, and I talked to them and. They finally fixed the dam, okay? But they put a 20-ton slab on top of the crumbling infrastructure. And a lot of people, a few people I know that know construction, they looked at it and they said, yeah, that's, I'm trying to think of the word for it. I got so many things rolling through my head. That's sabotage. We put that on there. I called the DNR and I said, hey, what's going on? I said, who approved this dam repair? Oh, I did. I said, well, what about the sides and everything else in the crumbling? Oh, I didn't approve of it either. I said, well, who's in charge of Homeland Security for the dams? The DNR is in charge of Homeland Security for the dam safety. Yeah, nice job. Okay, so then I contacted Homeland Security. Spent some more of my time, put this articles together, print this stuff up, send it to Washington, D.C. Guess what? Within the next four months, they fixed it again. You want to talk about wasting your taxpayers' money? I mean, public safety. And then what Tom said in the previous video was 2011. And the dam report was 2002. And he was supposedly the city engineer. It's like, yeah. Okay, so this is another one. It's the Beaver Dam Fire Department safety inspector discovered severe cracks in the walls, foundations in 1920 years. That was the Fairchild building on the corner of Celestial Sense. Structural failure could result in collapse, damming the river, concerning the high flow, causing serious flooding in the downtown. Structural evaluation of the building is underway. Floodplain ordinance city. Well, see, they told him that he couldn't fix it and all this stuff like that. But you'll see coming forward that they knew that that could collapse it and flood all the way to the foundry and cause a catastrophic explosion. But they don't care. They have their agenda. Who cares about all these people and families? Another case, in my opinion, 16,000 cases of reckless endangerment to the city of Beaver Dam. And the DNR had their reign of terror across the community. Okay, this is another DNR email. James Condon, Dan Hunt, Laura Simon. Says, with the known conditions of the buildings in the waterway below the discharge of the dam, I will not exceed the discharge from the dam that could possibly cause foundation failure and collapse of buildings. I know in years past we have discharged high volumes of water, which result in a faster lowering of the lake and maintaining that lake through drawdown, but with verified condition of the buildings, generating a significant downstream flow that could cause significant problems and severe liabilities to the people involved with the drawdown. Yeah, that history of it. And then they talk about the safety, and then, what would they be talking about? Either the dam, pretty much is it. It says, this is Susan Joseph from the DNR. I don't know if you talked to Ken about this or not, but it's my opinion. We do not have responsibility for public safety in this matter. I believe that this falls in the city of Beaver Dam. Check my schedule, and I'm not able to attend the council meeting. Rob said that Beaver Dam doesn't understand their safety responsibilities. No kidding. Okay. Then it's a mayor and community comment. I said I'm closing my controversial Fountain Inn Tavern on Tuesday. The central building was constructed over to be in violation of modern status. It was grandfathered in. Okay, they can't just pick out a couple buildings and threaten them and blackmail them on our property. That's not the way the world works, folks. This is the DNR. It says buildings apparently in negotiations with the DNR. Tensions ran high on Friday. Leveled accusations against the Beaver Dam Tom Kennedy during the community comment. That's in that video, one previous. Kenny shot back, said hate has been trying to scare people for the past 2 years, spouting out the city has not complied with orders of repairs on the dam. Kenny said the city's dam is in perfect condition. Yeah, public safety is supposed to be the number one issue for the mayor and the community. Okay. And this talks about the dam operation, which you watch on that video. He says, "Okay, put a board in when you want." It's like unbelievable. Rob Davis. Okay. I talked with Tom Stebbins about an hour ago about the dam operation and told him that if you feel that you need to put boards back in the to relieve things downstream, go ahead. The lake levels in the dam should be closely monitored. If this is done, probably every hour or so, but be careful not to put in too many boards so the level of the lake comes up, as the dam is extremely stressed. Also, watch the weather, and hopefully, if necessary, the boards will be able to be removed and not stuck. So, you take it, pull all the boards at one time. Why didn't they contact the people downtown? They didn't want it to know this was the plan. Larry Lang was living in the basement of his, of his apartment. It's amazing, folks. Sorry for being upset, because this stuff, I go through this, it just drives me crazy.